So we got ASAP Rocky out, and boy, the timing was good because ASAP Rocky figured prominently in today's impeachment hearings. You know, Ambassador Sondland testified before the House committee about these phone calls that he was privy to with President Trump. One of the calls, and a very important call, if you've been following this, is when he was at a restaurant with a bunch of other people, and Trump called him, and he talked to Trump about various things. Turns out the call was really about ASAP.
You now remember is the discussion that you had with President Trump on July 26th in that restaurant in Kiev, right?
Yeah, what triggered my memory was someone's reference to ASAP Rocky, which was, I believe, the primary purpose of the phone call. Certainly. So that's one way memory works, isn't it?
We should explain that this is referencing when ASAP was in jail,
right,
and that Trump was trying to help him get out.
Right. So the ambassador was basically telling President Trump that, advising him about how things were playing over in Europe. As far as getting ASAP out.
Ambassador Sondland is the ambassador to the United Nations, and so I'm sorry, to the European Union, and therefore he would have been the point person to deal with the ASAP Rocky situation on behalf of the administration. Fascinating that this was the primary purpose of the phone call that then turns into a central tenet of the entire impeachment inquiry. Fascinating stuff.
Which is, you know, essentially whether this was a quid pro quo, and Trump talked about this and others overheard it.
Timing, perfect timing for ASAP Rocky happened to be locked up in Sweden just as all this was going on.
That's right. So we got ASAP Rocky out because remember, ASAP's going back to Sweden
next month,
which is interesting because he had said, we know earlier when he got out that he was never going back, but he's going back.
Yeah, and he talked to us about why he's going back. He wants to reach out to a lot of he says when he was over there, met a lot of immigrants, some of them in prison, some of them not.
And then we asked him about Trump.
Yes, so here's what he said about his return, and then, yes, listen and watch his reaction when we bring up Trump.
You're going to be doing some sightseeing this time, trying to see more of the city than you got to see last time?
Man, I'm going to the no-go zone, so that's where all the immigrants live, and, you know, that's where the cops don't go out there and stuff, and all of the, and I don't mean to keep referring to them as immigrants. We're talking about African brothers, Arab brothers, just people that aren't really Swedish people, you know, and of Swedish descent.
You know, President Trump was very vocal when you were over there. Did you ever get a chance to speak with him at all?
Sorry, kind of in the rush.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, fair enough, Rocky. It's always a pleasure.
He did not want to answer
not
that.
Touching it, and at that point, he had no way of knowing that his name was going to come up
because this was
Capitol Hill.
This was last night, and then this happened this morning.
Right.
So, I mean, look, he had, my recollection is he did express some appreciation when he was getting out.
But never that I saw
never
on
in
camera.
embracing, yeah.
Right. It's clear he's not ready to embrace President Trump the way some other people.
Yeah, and it seems like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Myrna calling from Newark, New Jersey. I just don't truly understand what Trump has to do with ASAP Rocky. I know his connection to Kanye, but I'm not quite sure his connection to ASAP Rocky and why he was so adamant about, you know, helping him to get out. So it's just like, I don't even understand how this is happening and why this is even relevant to Trump. So I'm just like totally confused.
Well, the cynics are saying that it's a way of courting the black vote. Yes. I mean, that's what the cynics are saying.
Well, that's what they said when Trump got involved.
Did it.
Right.
Because, you know, there was a groundswell to get ASAP out of jail because it seemed, and I believe he was there unfairly.
Right.